Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lena, this is Lena's Bookshelf, and today we have another book haul. I know what you're thinking. I tried not to buy books, okay? I tried. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get the Book of the Month books. That's gonna be the only books I buy. I don't know what I was thinking. So we have books to talk about today. Some of these I already talked about in some videos, like some TBRs or some wrap-ups, so I may not spend too much time on some of these, but we're just gonna speed on through all of the books that I have acquired within the past 2 or so months. So first we have Big Lies in a Small Town by Diane Chamberlain, and I got this from a used bookstore, and I got this because Diane Chamberlain wrote the first 5-star book that I read this year, actually the first book that I read this year, and that's The Dream Daughter, and I really enjoyed it, and I like the writing style. It was very easy to read, and so I decided to try this one out, and I've heard some good things about this, and it was pretty cheap. It was $6. So next we have Thinner by Stephen King. This is actually a book that was written under the pen name Richard Bachman, and this is on my TBR for this month. It's basically about a man who gets cursed by a gypsy to constantly get thinner and thinner and thinner. And so I think I'm about 30% of the way through this one. So check back at the end of the month to see all my thoughts. This next book I swapped for at a little free library. I turned in one of my books that I was unhauling, and I got The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And I've heard really good things about this book. I read a Kristen Hanna book a couple months ago. I'll link that vlog in the cards if you're interested in watching it and hearing all my thoughts. But I am really interested to pick up another Kristen Hanna book, and this one is a chunker. It's pretty long. It is like 550 pages, but my friend Jordan really likes this book, and I've heard some other people talk about it too, so excited about that one. This next book was actually gifted to me, and it is The Lost Girls of Willowbrook by Ellen Marie Wiseman. Thank you so much to Kensington Books for sending this to me. When I first read the synopsis of this book, I instantly was like, yes, I need this book, 5 stars. Like, it's going to be 5 stars. And so I actually reached out to the publisher, and they sent me an art copy. So I'm so excited that Kensington Books sent this to me. I'm about halfway through it. As you can see, this is my current read, and this is a fiction version of a true story, actually. So Willowbrook is a real institution. It's a state school that was in New York, and it was shut down due to extreme abuse and neglect of the patients there. And if you know me, you know that I love asylum, institutions, psych hospital, anything like that in my books. And this book is dark. It's thrilling and it's dark, and I'm loving it so far, but check back at the end of the month once again to hear all of my thoughts. These next 2 books I actually bought full price, which I don't usually do, but the first one is The Club by Ellery Lloyd, and I bought this when I was visiting Jacqueline because I wanted to support her local bookstore, and I'm so happy that I was able to do that, and I'm excited to read this book. But I've heard some kind of polarizing things. I've heard some good things about this book, some not so good. So it seems pretty short, seems like a pretty quick read, so we'll see. It's also a Reese's Book Club pick, and I actually am thinking about doing a vlog reading the Reese's Book Club titles. So let me know if you'd be interested in a vlog like that. This next book, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, is not the Book of the Month copy because Book of the Month picks came out in June, and this was not on there, and I was so annoyed, but I was not surprised because the new Emily Henry book was not a Book of the Month pick, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're not gonna match. But I fell into the hype of everybody reading this. I got FOMO, and so I actually went to my local Books A Million and bought a full price copy. And then literally 3 days later, the July picks came out, and this was in the July picks. And I could have returned this to the bookstore and got my money back, and then saved some money by getting the Book of the Month copy, but honestly, like, I felt guilty doing that. I felt like, okay, if I take this book back, I felt like they were gonna judge me and be like, oh, you totally read this in 2 days and then brought it back to get your money back, like, way to go. I didn't want to be that person. Oh well, it doesn't match, but I'm kind of okay with it because this is my least favorite Riley Sager to date. But I do have a video ranking all of Riley Sager's books. I can link that one for you, so go check that one out if you're interested on my thoughts comparing this one to his other books. This next book I also picked up at a used bookstore, and it's Who is Maud Dixon by Alexandria Andrews, and my friend Jordan has read this book, and I've read a couple of other reviews of it from some of my friends, and I have been told to go into this one blind. I've been told not to read the synopsis, so I didn't, so we'll have to see what I think of this. from what I hear people talking about, it seems like something that's gonna be right up my alley. This next book I also got from a used bookstore, and it's The Chain by Adrienne McKinty. I read this one last month, so definitely go look at my wrap up to hear all my thoughts, but I did enjoy this one. I gave it 4 stars. I liked everything about it except for the ending. This next book was on sale through Amazon, and I just had to own a copy, and it's The Measure by Nikki Erlich. And I read this book last month. My friend Gwen, she has a podcast, Talk Bookish to Me, and there is a Patreon for that podcast. And so all of the Night Owls read this together in the month of July, and I freaking loved it. So when I saw that it was on sale on Amazon, I snatched it up so I could have a copy for myself. And this cover is just gorgeous. But basically, this is a dystopian world. What if you wake up one day and there's a box on your doorstep that holds a string, and that string tells you how long you're gonna live. So the measure of your string. So if it's long, you're gonna have a long life, and if it's short, you're going to die very quickly. It was just so good. I really enjoyed it. We had a great book discussion about it. And again, look at my July wrap up to hear all of my thoughts. And last we have my recent book of the month picks. So first we have The It Girl by Ruth Ware. I love Ruth Ware. I've enjoyed almost all of her books, but I haven't been hearing very great things about this, which is disappointing because it's like 400 pages and it's supposed to have like really great dark academia vibes, but I've heard it's like really slow and not a whole lot happens and not very high stakes, so we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try, but I'm gonna allow myself to DNF it if it's not doing it for me. And the other book that I got in my August box is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I'm really excited about this. I'm thinking that this is kind of like The Guest List or one of the other books I'm about to talk about. And what I'm learning about myself is that I'm not a huge fan of island thrillers, but I still want to try this one out. This has been one of my most anticipated books of this year. We also have You're Invited by Amanda J. Atissa, and I'm reading this month. It's on my TBR, and I love this cover. I love the colors. I love like the gray and the yellow. And this is similar in plot, I believe, to this one and to The Guest List, but I think there's also some forbidden love in here too, maybe? I don't know. So check back at the end of the month to hear all of my thoughts on this one. And then the last book of the month pick that I have to share with you is The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. I read The Family Upstairs and really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, so I'm excited to read this one. And I don't know if it's like what happens before or what happens after that book or what, but I've also been told that you don't have to read The Family Upstairs in order to appreciate this one. So we'll see. I am kind of hit or miss with Lisa Jewell. I either really enjoy her books or I am just bored out of my mind. So we'll see where I fall with this one. Okay, that is all the books that I have hauled recently. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down below if you've read any of these books. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.